was abducted in Nairobi and then moved to Kampala, which is just the latest in a string of human rights violations, abductions, and killings that have been happening since 2022. There's a story on page 2 and 3 of the Daily Nation talking about that. And safety fears are growing as Kenya gains notoriety for being a playground of abductions.
Rights violations. So the abduction in Nairobi and subsequent transfer to Kampala of Ugandan opposition leader has actually shed light on more people who've been affected directly or indirectly by some of the abductions that happened. And of course, some often seek asylum here, and maybe they are fleeing from political persecution in their home countries, as well as maybe visiting foreign nationals and opposition figures where they try to just get a form of peace in the country. But what does Kenya do? Kenya often nabs them or assists their countries in making sure that they go back to their the countries they fled.
That's right. Now, that's just the latest in a series of abductions, like we'd said. And aside from, of course, the abductions of Kenyan citizens and the disappearances and the killings of Kenyan citizens, several people who are considered dissidents in their countries have also been abducted while in Kenya, which, of course, does put Kenya on the spotlight. It used to be considered a safe haven for dissidents, but not so much. One of the most jarring incidents was, of course, the slaying of a Pakistani journalist, Ashad Sharif, who was mistakenly, and I put that in quotes, shot dead by Kenyan police officers in October 2022.
Well, I remember that incident, and of course, you definitely see an investigative journalist piecing up this story, and you'd see it's just, I don't know. It was not, even if it's an orchestration, I don't think it was done professionally, because you definitely not shoot at a car where you've not identified who the individual is. And if you've identified, I think the car plate numbers, stopping someone, if they resisted arrest, there's a lot of procedure to actually follow other than just spraying bullets on a vehicle.
True, and a shot to the head does not, indicate incident.
Yes.
I mean, accident in this case. There was also, of course, the abduction and the refoulement of four Turkish nationals, Alparslan Tasi, Mustafa Genk, Hussein Yasila, and Oztuk Uzun last month. And that, of course, got a lot of pressure from human rights bodies that the government moved swiftly to deport them back to Turkey, which is against human rights principles of non-refoulement, which prohibits a state from returning people to territories where they may face irreparable harm.
As we look at this incident where Kiza Besigye went missing, the person hosting him was supposed to be Martha Karua, but they tried reaching out to him, and according to Martha Karua's words, and Lisema, when we knew that he was coming, but when he did not show up, we called him to find out where he was. No one picked up his phone, only for us to later on see videos of him in
Kampala court.
Yeah, yes. Kampala court, and it's military.
That's
so
true.
People are asking the question. So it begs the question, are we dealing with a civilian or are we dealing with a soldier? So
that's very true.
That's a big question that we need to also consider. But of course, Kenya is now not being considered a safe space for those seeking asylum, or rather those who are just seeking safe space.